I was born in Utah. I lived there till I was like 7-ish, and then we moved to San Francisco area, Marin County, California. Like, I remember driving down Polk Street, which was like the gay street in San Francisco. We went down Polk Street and they were like making fun of the guys like holding hands, and everyone was grossed out by it, and everyone was freaking out, and like a guy had like his hands in the back of the guy's pocket, like on his butt, and everyone was like, "Oh, there's gay people, gross." And I was on board with it, I guess, because it was gross to me. In my mind, I was like, "Ew, that's weird." Guys and guys, like it was, but I wasn't attracted to girls when I was that young anyway. Like, sexuality was not a thing for me yet. So, but I remember it hurting my feelings that they were like people living differently and people were making fun of them at all. But then I remember going to a party that a guy was like, was HIV positive, and
How old were you?
I think I was like 12 or 13, and my dad was saying something how that's his partner, and I was like, his partner, like his living partner, his business partner or something. He's like, no, they're like me and mom. But it's sad because he has this disease and he's like dying. The other guy was like very sick and like frail, and I remember watching them at this party and thinking that they were taking care of each other like a couple, and I was thinking how sad it was, and like I had compassion for them. And it was good because I think a lot of people when they're young sexualize so much of what is gay and what is straight, and girls and guys. When you're young, everything's about sex and all this stuff. I remember seeing these older guys taking care of each other. They worked like my mom and dad worked. You don't sexualize your mom and dad,
right?
But these guys worked in like a partnership, and they loved each other a lot, and that was something that was like tender to see. I remember looking at my sister's magazines, like Cosmos and stuff. I remember there were like bathing suit pictures of like Greg Louganis and different people. And I was like, I remember being like attracted to these guys. I remember I went into the bathroom in our house, and like it was like one day after school. I must have been in like junior high, 6th or 7th grade. I think I unconsciously knew earlier, but it never came to a conscious point until this time. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I did the math in my head. I was like, I've never really been attracted to a girl sexually, and I think I was just attracted to guys sexually. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I think I'm gay. And then like surge of fear went through my body. I was like, oh my word. And I was like, what does that mean? What am I going to do about this? And I'm such a planner, I started instantly getting the game plan for myself. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to pray this away, and I'm going to go to church, and I'm going to be good, and I'm going to do all the things I'm supposed to so that this will go away. And I just kind of forgot about it, and then it came back, and then it was so at an unconscious level. It didn't really, I didn't have to deal with it until I like got home from my mission. My good friend, when I was like a senior in high school, took the missionary lessons at our house, and he was like Jewish. I used to make fun of him in junior high because he was very, 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 very feminine, and like he just seemed weak, and like everyone ganged up on him, and of course you want to be strong, so you make fun of the weak. And I would call him a fag and jump on that, but then by the time we were seniors in high school, we actually became friends, and I think we kind of bonded over, he knew, I knew, but we didn't say anything. But he took the missionary lessons at our house every Sunday night with my girlfriend and our other good friend, Carrie. And he, at the end of them, he was like about to be baptized into the church, and I was like praying for him and stuff. And at the end of it all, he was like, I can't do this because I'm gay. And I was like, and it brought up so many questions for me, because I'm like, in my mind, I was like, I'm gay too. What am I supposed to do? Because now I'm here in the middle of it all, and you have an option to not be in it all. So I think I was like mad at him for a little bit, and then I wasn't, and then the missionaries luckily were really cool about it. They weren't judgy behind his back to us, to my family. They weren't like, well, that's this horrible thing, and that's this bad thing. And he had asked a few times in the missionary lessons what the church thought of homosexuality a lot, brought that up. Because I think everybody knew, like, you can't, you'd have to be headless to not know this person was a homosexual man. But my dad answered questions. My dad actually said, he asked, what are you supposed to do? What are homosexual people supposed to do in the church? And my dad was like, well, it's like, straight men who want to sleep with a lot of different women. Like, you control your urges, and you don't. You're with one woman, and you control yourself and stuff. And later, my sister and I were out, and someone said something about that, and I was like, well, like, my dad wants to sleep with everybody. Being gay and Mormon, it's like this. My dad wants to sleep with other... And my sister was standing there, and she was like, what? Paul, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
So, he brought up questions for me, but it also would put me into this, like, I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to not be gay. So I went to Rick's College after high school. And for a year there, I was totally mission focused. I wanted to go on a mission so bad. When they took the lessons, it totally pumped me up. It was kind of my rebellion. Like, I didn't have to deal with being gay or straight if I was being spiritual.
Right.
I mean, I was terrified, like, in the MTC. I remember someone gave a speech, like, one of the general authorities or something came and gave a speech, and he was like, you have to be worthy, and he was, like, yelling, and he was really, like, fired up about being worthy, and, like, you have to, like, rid yourself of all sins, and a guy in my district just, like, went home because of it. I remember he, like, was gone the next day. I think he fessed up about something and was, like, gone. But, we all had interviews after that talk, and I remember totally spilling to our district leader or something. I was like, I want to tell you thoughts that I've had and things that have gone through my head and, like, every little thing I've done just to make sure I am totally clean and worthy. But I hadn't ever fooled around with a guy. I'd never had sex with a guy. I'd never done any of that. So it was just these fears in my head about masturbating and stuff. Masturbating is such a weird word. It's even weirder when, like, the authorities of the church have to say it. I remember being 13 and, like, seeing general comments. They were like, this, homosexuality, and masturbation. I was like, oh, that word is so horrible. It's the most embarrassing word. And I was, like, sitting next to my dad. It was, like, dad-son conference or something. Or, like, the men's, whatever it is.
Yeah, like, the night before
that all the elders go to and
like
stuff.
Saturday night or whatever.
And I was so mortified. I'm like, don't say that.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But my mission was good. I mean, I had not companions, but, like, I had people on my mission that like, guys I'd look at and be like, I'm attracted to you, but, it was so on the back burner, and I was so protected by the badge and by what I was doing that I didn't have to go there ever, so I just worked and totally forgot about it. So when I got back, I was going through the motions, but I was really lost because all these other guys were getting married and everyone was going out with girls, and that was the pressure because I was this return missionary, and, like, all eyes were on that now. Where before it was all me going on my mission, which I could deal with. Now it was like, date girls and da-da-da, and, like, the fear set in of all that, and I was terrified. Guys everywhere at Rick's, just these cute, like, Mormon boys that I was attracted to. I was like, oh, okay. And some you'd see and, like, you'd know that they were gay too and get a vibe from and be like, what would it be like if we ran away together? Let's Thelma and Louise it. Come on! And then I went to BYU and, like, did Young Ambassadors and the MDT program there and stuff. And I remember being kind of frustrated that, like, the faculty there wasn't a community of people that talked about it. And then I opened up to my bishop, and he was like, well, you should exercise. He told me to exercise. And that would make the thoughts go away. I was like, okay. So I went to the gym every day. And then I went to a therapist at the school at BYU, and he was so not, like, qualified to deal with any of this because he's like, anything is as big of a deal as you make it. So, give it a name. I'm like, what? Give my homosexuality a name, and it's a wall, and it's an obstacle, and just put it over there. But it was still there. There wasn't a change, and, nothing went away. It was this major every thought I had was like, I'm gay. What am I gonna do?